What's up everybody, today we're going to be doing a full Dawntrail Gathering guide, and I'm going to go over pretty much everything from the best and fastest way to level Miner and Botanist to 100 in just a few hours. I'm going to talk about how collectibles work, how to get the new orange scripts fast, and how to get your endgame gear. And then at the end, some good guild making tips once you've got your gatherers leveled up. And spoiler warning, this won't show any of the story, but it will show the second city in Dawntrail because that's where all the collectibles and the appraisers and the vendors are, and it will show some zones before that, because that's where we'll be doing all of the gathering and the collecting. So let's get straight into this. And first, I want to do a quick collectibles guide if you haven't used them before. If you've never done collectible gathering, I want to talk about that. If you fully know how they work, just skip ahead. But this is one of the main things you'll be doing in Dawntrail. It's the fastest way to level. It rewards you with both purple and orange scripts. You can get gear, materia, and the books to unlock all of the new nodes. So yeah, collectibles are super important, so let's go over a quick guide assuming you've never done it before. So you can find collectibles in the open world at just random places, or you can head to unspoiled nodes. These are nodes that appear every 2 hours of game time, in-game time. So they alternate every 2 hours, a different node will spawn that you can go and mine or gather, and then it will spawn somewhere else 2 hours later. And these can have normal items in that you can go and sell, or it will have a collectible that you gather and hand into the collectible appraiser in Solution 9. And once you're in the zone, you can turn on Truth of the Mountain or Truth of the Forest, depending if you're Miner or Botanist. And then you'll see this yellow icon on your minimap telling you where the unspoiled node is. So just head to the right zone, switch to the right gathering class, and head over there. Once you've gathered one of these unspoiled timed nodes, you can open your gathering log and you can see that you've gathered it. It will show you what time that will spawn in the future because it's the same item at the same time, completely fixed. So like 8 till 10 is the same item at the same place every 8 till 10. So that's something that you want to be getting used to. And you can use external sites like Final Fantasy XIV Gathering. They have like a clock that shows all the different nodes and when they spawn. So that's useful when you're starting out to get used to when they're spawning. But this is where you go to collect your collectibles. So let's head to one. And we get this interface when we get here that shows basically how we collect a collectible. And all you want to do is you want to increase this big ring at the top. This is your collectible rating, kind of like your quality. And you want to increase this as high as possible and then collect it. And you have a number of actions. So say you have 6 actions. So you can do 6 things. You can spend those 6 things buffing, improving the quality, or collecting the collectible. And I'll keep it simple. But as an easy strategy would be, number 1, buff yourself with scrutiny. That's one action. And then use one of the 3 buttons at the top to improve the quality. The left is like a normal improvement. The middle is an RNG. It can be higher, it can be lower. And then the third one is a small improvement, but with a chance to not use the action. I normally just go down the middle, just RNG it every single time. But yeah, scrutiny, RNG, that's 2 actions, and you get a big boost in quality. Once you have the quality high enough, depending on your gathering rating, how high you can get it, and then once you've got it to a place that you're happy, you just start collecting. So if you have 3 actions left, you can collect 3 collectibles at that quality that you got it to. So yeah, that's like what you want to be doing. Just collect as many as you can and go hand them in. And this is what you do for leveling. This is what you do for getting your gear. It's what you do for getting materia. Everything can just be taken back to go into these nodes, collecting and handing them in. So I just wanted to give a quick guide, if you've never done it before, of just as simple as possible how to get into the collectibles. So now let's talk about the fastest way to level in Dawntrail. And no surprise, it's with collectibles. This is the perfect way as it will give us purple gathering scripts. So as you're leveling, you will get purple scripts. When you're max level and you're doing like end game stuff with gathering, you'll get orange scripts. So we'll talk about that later. But for now, let's talk about leveling, because as you're leveling, you want experience, sure, but you also want these purple scripts. The reason you want those is because you can trade those in for books, folklore books, which unlock the Dawntrail Gathering nodes. So there are secret nodes in the game that once you have the book for them, they will spawn for you, or you will see them when you go to them. And that has like the really juicy stuff on it. That's the stuff you want to be gathering. So once you go to the collectible appraiser in Solution 9, just select the gathering tab like Miner, Botanist, and hand them all in. You will get rewards based on the quality, and you will get a massive amount of XP and purple scripts. Once you have 1,600 scripts, head behind him to the script exchange. Click the 5th option down in gathering where it says regional folklore, and then on the 2nd option, click level 100 folklore option. These are the books that unlock the new Dawntrail Gathering locations. So as you're leveling, every time you hit 1,600 purple scripts, go grab one of these. And over time, once you get to 100, not only will you hit level 100, as you're progressing through, you'll slowly see more and more of these nodes open up, and you'll level faster and faster and faster, and you'll get more and more stuff. Another good way to supplement this leveling is to use the Grand Company turnings. That's always been good and still is. You just hand in a few items every day and you get a ton of XP. And you can also do the Wachu Meki deliveries, which has a gathering option. So you can either take that on a miner or gatherer and hand in those. It's good XP, but there's only a handful of quests there, so it won't get you very far. So yeah, once you do hit 100 on your gathering classes, you'll also have all the nodes unlocked. So it's just a win-win. Okay, now once you hit level 100, you have two objectives. Start farming the orange scripts and work on your endgame level 100 gear. So, to get orange scripts, you do exactly the same thing you did while you are leveling, except when you farm the timed collectible nodes, instead of farming the easy stuff, so when you're there, there'll be something that's like 100% chance to gather, and there'll be something that might be like 80% chance, 70% chance. That's the harder stuff. And you can see the levels of these things as well in your gathering log, but you want to start farming the harder stuff. You can go in the collectible appraiser and see which ones give orange scripts and just start farming those. So head out and farm those every 2 hours of in-game time and start building up these collectibles again and trade them in for these orange scripts. And as you start farming this hard stuff, as you start gathering these level 100 nodes, you'll start to see certain things on these nodes that you can't gather. Some things need a perception of, I believe, 4,480 before you can even see them, and then you need a decent gathering and GP to gather a good quality of them. To get the quality high, you need good gathering. So you're going to need endgame gear. So let's talk about the level 100 gear. You have 3 ways to get this gear. You can craft it. There is crafted gear. You can buy that crafted gear off the market, or you can get them with orange scripts. Now, if you're looking at the crafted gear on release, it is extremely expensive. I had a look like yesterday and it was 1 million gil a piece. Like just for a head, 1 million gil, chest, 1 million gil. So it's a lot. So a good start is orange script gear. Orange script gear is much easier because you could just farm collectibles and there is 0 cost. However, the crafted gear is better in the long run because it lets us add materia, which has lots of uses, which we'll talk about later. So usually, like your BIS gear would be a full set of crafted gear, crafted accessories, all pentamelded with tons and tons of materia. That's like the BIS. But all you need to start gathering these endgame nodes is anything. Crafted gear or orange script gear. It doesn't matter. You can get started, so just get something. My advice would be, right now, I would use scripts to get your weapons. So they're 700 orange scripts each. So a hatchet and a sickle, one for each gatherer. And then for the gear, if you can afford it, I would get crafted. If you can't get orange script gear, that's what I would do. The benefit of the crafted gear as well is it's Disciple of the Land gear. So a crafted gathering chest piece can be used on any of your gathering classes interchangeably. However, if you get a orange script chest piece for a miner, that is just for a miner. So that's one thing to be aware of. So what I did is I bought all left side from the market board, or like I got one crafted for me. So that's how I filled the left side. I got orange script weapons. And I think I got like boots because I didn't want to spend the money and they're really expensive. But yeah, I'd focus left side and buy them if you can. On the right side for your accessories, I honestly wouldn't worry that much right now. They're not a huge change from level 90 to level 100 accessories, and the price right now is extremely high. And you can't get them with orange scripts, I don't believe. So as the prices come down, I would then start buying your accessories. But for now, a mix of crafted and script gear will easily get you going for gathering everything that's out right now. Okay, now we're at the end. Making gil. You've spent all that time gathering, you've done collectibles for days, and you've got all your scripts, you've got all the nodes unlocked. How do you make good gil? There's 4 good ways that I'm going to talk about. 1 is to keep farming your orange and purple scripts, then trade those in for materia. Materia is selling like crazy on expansion release. And every patch, as more people gather and as new things come out, people want more and more materia. So yeah, materia is a really good thing to just gather your script gear and trade them in. Okay, option 2 is to find a product that is selling well on the market board and gather it in bulk. For example, right now, people are all leveling their crafters. So go and look what items they need and sell them. You can either search the market board for ingredients, like go through the different materials and see what is the highest, see what is selling for a high value and go and collect it. Another thing to do is to go to the Collectables appraiser in Solution 9 and see what items are needed for the hand-ins. So you could look at, say, the blacksmith, see what items they need to make their collectibles and go gather them because they're going to be buying them. A lot of people will just buy it off the market board because they are sitting on gil, the expansions come out and they want to level their characters. They want to level their crafters. So just go farm that stuff for them. This is probably the easiest and fastest way to make consistent gil. There's pretty much no risk because these materials will always sell. Number 3 is to farm these timed nodes. We've unlocked all the books and we can now farm these special items every 2 hours. Outside of collectibles, there are items here we can just gather and sell. And these items are usually what are required to craft the really good combat job gear that people will need when they're jumping into raids at the end of this month. Normally, when a patch drops, getting the books and gathering is a really good source of gil. Okay, now this option's a bit more advanced, but it's to spirit bond your gear and extract it and sell the materia. So the way spirit bonding works is the more materia you have in your gear, the faster your gear spirit bonds. And spirit bond is when you see in the gear thing in the bottom right, when it goes white. That means you've spirit bonded to 100% and you get a free materia and it goes back down to 1%. So you can add 2 materia to your gear at the materia helper in towns, which is like a 40% boost in how fast you spirit bond. But if you want to get really into this, you can pentameld your gear. If you can get a crafter to 100, you can then start shoving extra materia into your gear. It's high risk, you can destroy it trying to do that, but you can shove it all in and you can get up to 5 materia on each item, which is a huge boost to how fast you spirit bond. With these juiced out, fully materied items, going out and gathering, you will just be spirit bonding constantly. You can use spirit bond food, such as this one, and you can use spirit bond potions to give you even faster spirit bonding. And that means that as you're just like gathering, say you're doing one of these options where you just hit a tree, you're gathering a certain log that people need, and you just stand there gathering for a few hours, you will constantly just hit 100% spirit bond, 100% spirit bond, and you can just be pulling out more and more materia. I was doing this yesterday and I sold a bunch of the Gudon, whatever it's called, the one that gives you gathering stats. I sold some tier 12 for that for 400,000 gil each. So yeah, that's a really good way. The prices do drop down quite a lot, but you're still going to get good, consistent gil from this. But yeah, that's pretty much everything you need to know about gathering in Dawntrail, from leveling up, using collectibles, to making some good gil once you've got all your gear sorted. I hope this helps. Let me know if there is anything I've missed or that you have questions on, and if you have anything that might help new gatherers once they hit endgame for the first time, do drop some helpful advice down below. But that's it from me. If this has helped, do consider subscribing to the channel. Take care, and I will catch you in the next one.